Welcome back, Danimals, to another episode of Mastering Master Mode. In this episode, we take to the Underworld and we do some mining. And I mean a lot of mining. We need to get all this hellstone so that we can create better armor, better weapons, and a summoning staff. We take a couple obsidian potions so that we can go down under the lava without taking damage from it, and we get to work. After we've mined a whole bunch, we head back up to the surface to craft a molten pickaxe. This gives us the achievement Miner for Fire. It also gives us a better pickaxe, so mining more hellstone in the future will be faster. While continuing our exploration of the buildings in the Underworld, we come across a voodoo demon. These guys carry guide voodoo dolls, and they're the key to summoning the Wall of Flesh, the last boss of pre-hard mode. I make sure to be careful so that when I kill the voodoo demon, I don't kill him over lava and accidentally summon the Wall of Flesh early. After doing a bunch of exploration of the Underworld, I decided to earn a couple more achievements now in pre-hard mode before it becomes a lot harder in hard mode. The first one I earned is the Cavalry for equipping a mount, which was the honeyed goggles from Queen Bee. I chose this mount because I needed to farm the Queen Bee anyways to get a full set of bee armor for my next achievement, Not the Bees, for firing a bee gun while wearing a full set of bee armor. At this point, it's time to prepare the Underworld for the Wall of Flesh boss fight. If you've never seen this boss, you're in for a treat. It's big, it's scary, and it covers the entire side of the screen. That means we need to prepare the Underworld by removing any obstacles in our way that could cause us to slow down and take a lot of damage or even die. Speaking of dying, my first death comes pretty quick to a bat. The bats are pretty hard to see in the Underworld as they're orange and they match the orange background, blending in perfectly. My next death comes to another bat as I'm struggling to get out of a hole that I've created by hitting all the wrong buttons on my keyboard. I then get swarmed by a bunch of demons, bats, and even a bone serpent, and take my next death over a huge lava pit so I can't get my money back. The demons use their signature weapon, the Demon Scythe, which can do a ton of damage to me in a single hit. And if I get hit by more than one of them, it's over. After that death, I decided I needed to get some calming potions. The way to get calming potions is to fish up damselfish in the sky lakes. As I'm doing that, I catch an angelfish. This is a quest fish for the angler, and I hadn't even tried to catch it, I just got lucky. So I went to the angler to turn it in, and I got my first fishing related achievement, Servant in Training, for handing in my first fishing quest. With the calming potions I brewed, I'm able to make a lot more progress. The calming potions reduce the spawn rates of enemies, and that makes it a lot easier to work, well, in the Underworld. However, once my calming potions run out, so does my luck, and I take another death to another bat. After that death, I decided I needed to make a garden before hard mode. Potions are extremely useful in this game, and if I don't have a consistent way to craft potions, I'm going to be in trouble come hard mode. Unfortunately for me, the Dryad doesn't sell the Fire Blossom planter boxes yet, so I can't create a garden for Fire Blossoms, which would be the most helpful for me right now, as they're a key ingredient for crafting obsidian skin potions. I also decided it was time to build housing for my NPCs around the world so that I could get the teleportation pylons. These pylons make it so much easier to move around my world, and I should have done this a long time ago. In the middle of building though, I realized it was a windy day, so I got out my kite and I flew it for the achievement A Rather Blustery Day. As I was finishing up the building in the snow biome, it hit midnight and the Deerclops spawned. Now I do have slightly better armor, but not much, and I don't really have much better weapons either. So this fight went similarly to how the last one went. However, I don't die quite as many times. I managed to beat the Deerclops, only dying twice this time rather than the 3 or 4 that I died last time. This is likely due to the fact that I learned from the last fight, and I tried to stay above the Deerclops as much as possible, greatly reducing the amount of damage I take from the snowballs and the icicle attacks. After that unexpected Deerclops fight, I head back to the Underworld to take yet another death to another bat. I then narrowly defeat a demon and dodge a bunch of slimes before not taking a health potion and dying to the very next slime that comes along. I'm really missing the calming potions, but it took so long to catch the fish for the last one that I just don't think it's worth it at this point. I then take a very unfortunate death by not realizing that my obsidian skin potion was about to run out and mining some blocks that turned into lava. When I fell in the lava, I took a whole bunch of damage very quickly and died. I then did the same thing the very next time I was down there and tried to swim in lava again. But at long last, I'm ready to fight the wall of flesh. First things first, I gotta pull out all of my buffs from my piggy bank. This takes a couple tries because I get swarmed by enemies while I'm down here, but eventually I do get them all out, including my banana split for extra health regeneration and some medium improvements to all of my stats. With all that out of the way, I take my guide voodoo doll and chuck it into some lava to spawn the wall of flesh. For this fight, the goal is to beat the wall of flesh before it reaches the other side of the underworld. As it takes more and more damage, it'll start to move faster and faster, as well as attack faster, meaning the fight only gets harder as it goes on. My weapons of choice for this fight are the Aqua Scepter and the Flower of Fire. These both pierce through the hungry and allow me to hit the actual wall of flesh. I also use a whole bunch of bee nades as the explosion from them deals a whole bunch of damage, plus the bees afterward deal a ton. And just like the bee gun, they home in on the enemy, so they can be dealing constant damage while I focus on dodging or dealing extra damage on top of them. The key to this fight, especially in Master Mode, is having weapons that will pierce through the hungry that extend out in front of the wall of flesh. In Master Mode, these hungry respawn after you kill them, so if you don't have a weapon that pierces through them, it'll make it very hard to hit the actual wall of flesh. This fight is going extremely well. Even though I don't have an armor set specifically for mages, I'm doing plenty of damage thanks to the magic power potion that I took, increasing the damage of my magic weapons by 20%. I also have more than enough speed to outrun the wall of flesh thanks to my lightning boots and the swiftness potion that I took. It's important to stay as far away from the wall of flesh as you can, because if you get stuck on anything and the wall of flesh catches up to you, it's almost impossible to escape and you're doomed. That's why I cleared out as many of these towers as I could, so that there was no chance that I could get stuck on them or inside them. I way over-prepared for this fight. I thought it was going to be much harder than it was, but I was pleasantly surprised when I one-shot the wall of flesh. Beating the wall of flesh gave me the achievements Still Hungry for defeating the wall of flesh, and It's Hard for entering hard mode. And with the defeat of the wall of flesh and entering into hard mode, we end this episode. I hope you all enjoyed this episode as much as I did. If you did, please be sure to drop a like, leave a comment. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out, and we appreciate every bit of support that we get from you guys. We'll see you next week for more Mastering Master Mode and the beginning of Hard Mode.